yeah, baby. Back for round two. Back for round two. But that's four. But let me see. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus, God Almighty. Ooh-wee. Woo-wee. All right, let me see if I can. Can I hears it? Pretty sure I can. I can hears it. All right, so we, like the title says, we're gonna do the last four legs of the Breckenridge Yosemite bush trip. I wasn't really sure what else to do tonight. I really didn't want to do a whole nother flight, and I've already sunk a fair amount of time in this. I've done 21 legs. So I figured I'll finish this up. We got 21 minutes roughly, 10 minutes, 30, 12, and so it's about, it's close to what my normal, I guess, flight time would be. But we're going to be flying an airplane that's got no autopilot, no navigation. We are just pretty much going to use the ground to navigate and the VFR map. So let's, you know what? I do want to check one thing with the controls. Give me 1 second. Because there is something that I do that helps quite a bit. Under control. No, it's under controls, Greg. Come on, Greg. You can do it. And let me search by input. Okay. Smart camera. That's it. Left bumper and A. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. That helps a lot with these kind of flights. All right, let's go back to, and I didn't have to download anything for this. This one comes with the standard game, so. All right, let's go ahead and click continue. Bush trips. I mean, I really wish I could download all the world scenery again. I'd love. I can do it on my. I can do it on my iPad. That's not an issue, but I just can't do it with the Xbox because of the world scenery updates. All right, before we go anywhere. Okay. So let's look at. We can get rid of basic controls. Navlog, VFR map. Where is it? Oh, Navlog wasn't on. That's right. Okay, there we go. So we need to take off on a heading of 121. Where are we heading now? We're heading 30. We're heading at about 20 degrees right now. So. And what kind of airway are we landing on? Oh, we're landing at an actual airport. That makes it pretty easy. Oh, Lake Tahoe Airport. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's click this isoline map so we can see about mountains and shit. So we're taking off on a heading of, what do you say, 121? We're going down. And we're going to KTVL. All right, so we got to start heading south. So let's see here. Which way is our plane facing? We're on runway 2. All right, so we're right here. So we need to take off and then immediately turn south. Okay. Send me a text this late. School board. I don't know why the school system sends messages so late at night. Okay, and we need to, airport, if I find a winding stretch of State 267. All right, follow that southeast as it rises through the hills and down towards the majestic shores of Alpine. All right, so let's take off and then start on a heading of 121. Let's put our strobe lights on. Parking brake, so let's just give it some petrol. These bush trips are a fair amount of fun, that's for sure. Okay, so we're taking off. We really have to be conscious of our trim with these airplanes. That way you can take your hand off the yoke a bit or off the steering. All right, let's go ahead and start turning towards 121. Let's raise our trim. So the trim, I can use the right bumper and the right thumbstick. Hold the right bumper in and move it forward or back to make the trim go up or down. So we need to go over the mountain, so that's what we're heading on. Here's, I bet you this is State 267 because it looks like it's starting to wind a bit. So let's start following this through the hills and down towards the majestic shores of the largest alpine lake in North America, Lake Tahoe. Very cool. Flying these bush trips, especially without a navigation system, I do spend a fair amount of time on the outside of the airplane. You can see right now, like I'm hands-free. See, the plane's not dipping or diving. That's because we have the trim and the throttle set pretty well. Let's move the throttle back a little bit. Raise our trim a little bit. Should have enough clearance to get over those mountains. This is my first time using a mouse with these bush trips. It makes it so much easier. All right, there's Lake Tahoe in the distance. We're doing good. We just need to hit Lake Tahoe and start heading south. Right, and then as you bank around Tahoe's southwestern edge, you'll pass marinas and vacation resorts with multi-million-dollar views of the glistening freshwater expanse. A body of water so large that its surface is noticeably convex due to the curvature of the earth. Wow. When your path eventually leads you to Tahoe City, you'll find the Truckee River again rushing to meet the Lake Tahoe Dam. Right, so we got to head on the course of 218 when we get to the shore. We can reduce our speed a little bit more because we're gonna descend here a little bit. I'd like to try to keep around, if I can, around 1,000 to maybe 2,000 feet at the most above ground in these bush trips. Excuse me. All right, let's wait till we get to water's edge. Then we'll start turning. Let's balance out our trim a little bit. Reduce our thruster a little bit more. Start turning 218. That's close enough. We're still climbing a little bit, so at this point you can either play with your trim or you can just reduce your throttle a little bit, which I just did, and you can actually see the vertical speed needle kind of balancing out now because we reduced the throttle a little bit. Once we get to the Truckee River Bridge, then we're going to turn 156. So when we get to the river, then we turn 156. I like to close out the VFR map because it doesn't follow the plane. When you leave it open or minimize, it won't follow the plane. However, if you close it and then open it back up again, it tends to put your plane kind of in the center of the map. One thing we can do is what we looked at in the beginning was that smart camera. So if we hold the left bumper and push A, it actually like puts the camera in the direction that you need to go. So if you do one of these bush trips like this, you're not completely helpless with trying to find your way. Keep twitching the corner of my eye and make sure it doesn't freeze up again like it's been doing. I'm cautiously keeping, an eye on it now, like I haven't always been doing that. I don't always see it when the stream freezes. All right, there's our river here, I believe. I believe we need to start turning. Yep, 156. That river kind of snuck up on me a little bit. What do we do from here? Continuing down the coastline. We got about 8.5 minutes of this. In the coastline, the beauty of the region is on clear display, and your view of it from altitude is a privilege one. Be sure to take in the striking scenery when you reach the lagoon on the southwestern shore. It's the only inlet on Lake Tahoe dotted with the lake's only island. Emerald Bay is an oasis of shimmering greens, turquoise, and blues set against stunning mountain backdrop. Very good. Okay. Oh, you're not really going to let me click on this to make it small? Oh, there we go. Okay. And after that, we have the airport. That's a small cascade of fallen leaves lake past Tahoe Mountain. Begin your descent to the next stop, Lake Tahoe Airport. Let's check out the VFR map. Okay, so we really do go to the very end there. And then here's our airport here. We have this little mountain here we got to go over. Okay. And this airport, it's interesting. So looks like we're going to have to fly to the airport and then go up and around. Or we can go ahead and just skim the side here. And when we get to these little bodies of water here, we can kind of turn. It looks like, I don't really know. This is 156. So that's 119. So probably, I guess like a 90, maybe 100-degree heading. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Have the barometric pressure. 30.6. Now, oh, here we go. It's pretty close. Let's fly inland a little bit here. I think we can get rid of this nav log as well. So we got 156 and then 119. We're really just looking out for little bodies of water on the coastline once we get to the inlet. And we'll keep an eye out for the airport and do our best to line up without having to go to the airport and then do like a, procedure turn or a U-turn or anything like that. Oh boy. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Scratcher, man. Sometimes I just get an itch. You get that itch on your back sometimes, especially after you've been wearing a shirt all day or it's getting late in the day. Man, these little. I bought this at like a Halloween store maybe a year or two ago, and this thing has got like the sharpest little like digits on it, man. And when it hits the back just right, man, it's like, oh my God, it's awesome. Oh yeah, what's the altitude of this airport? Should have that info available. Maybe not. 1,900 meters, whatever that is. That's not it. Not 1,900 meters. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, maybe it could be. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a stupid American. What do I know? It's a slow little airplane, that's for sure. A lot of the bush trips, you're using planes where you have full autopilot. Now, a lot of times you have to go into the flight plan and choose the waypoint you want to go to first when you start up. Because a lot of times the autopilot, the flight management system doesn't update the waypoint when you go to the next leg. It will if you continue. Like if you go from one leg to the next, but if you like exit out when you're done and then come back to it another time, when you go to the flight plan, it's going to have the wrong waypoints in, so you actually have to go into the flight plan and scroll down until you get to your leg that you're on, and then choose the waypoint you want to go to next directly. But a lot of times, like 90% of these bush trips, something like that, you just have autopilot. You just put it on autopilot and just let it go like we do on normal flights. This one is, I believe, the only one that I'm familiar with that does not have the navigation up here. So a lot of the bush trips where there's no autopilot, it'll still have the flight management. It'll still show you up here like which direction to go. And as long as you follow that, you're fine. This is the only one that I know of where nothing shows up here that can help us navigate to where we're going. And here's a little inlet. There's Emerald Island, I guess is what it was called. Emerald Bay, and then striking shore. Altitude, lagoon, inlet. It doesn't say what the name of the island is. All right. We do have the airport coming up, so let's continue on this kind of heading here. And then when we get to those kind of like bodies of water, showing up over here, because here's the mountain they want us to go over. According to the bush trip, they want us to go over here, and then the airport should be over here. But we're not going to be lined up with the runway if we do that. A lot of times these bush trips will put you out on a pretty close course to what one of the runways are, so you don't have to look around a whole lot for the runway. But sometimes they have it like this where it just puts you right at the middle of the airport, and then you have to fly right to the airport and then go past it and make a big U-turn. Sometimes you can do like we're doing now. We're going to try to hit it right away the first time. Nothing like hitting it the first time, you know what I'm saying? So if we go to, what I'm going to try to do is get to this lake here, this little body of water, and then go right in. That's looks like we can do that. These little bodies of water here, that's this right here. Let's close this out. Put on our landing lights, even though it's not really necessary. Let's lower our throttle a bit. We only have 2 stages of flaps, so this is a tricky plane to slow down, because if you pull back too quickly, or if you hit the brakes too hard and hold on to them for too long, the plane's going to nosedive, and then you're going to wind up crashing. So landing is a delicate balance of brake and pulling back on the yoke, so you can angle the plane so you have no chance of like dipping forward. I see our airport right over there. I think that's it right here. Slow down. Yeah, here's that little body of water right here, I think. One I was talking about. Some flaps down. Make our turn. I have no idea what the altitude of this airport is. I'm just going by visual right now. To my knowledge, with this airplane, there's no locking mechanism for the rear wheel like there are in some of these kind of planes. So, you shouldn't have to worry about not being able to steer the plane on the ground. You should be fine. We got 3 red. That's okay. One white. There we go. Now we're not diving so much when I let go of the thumbstick. I had to adjust the trim a bit. Slow down, and then we get about here, and we just kind of try to look at the edge of the end of the runway. We get a nice landing. Reduce our throttle. We have plenty of room to slow down. Right now I'm not hitting the brakes or anything. I'm just letting the plane slow down on its own. Plenty of runway. This time around we have plenty of runway. Sometimes we land this plane and we have very short runway. All right, you can see I just pulled back on the yoke. I'm holding brakes, and there we are. That leg is complete. Let's go next. And we'll click continue. All right, now this one's a bit longer. So, oh, it only says 10 minutes. I thought it was a 30-minute trip. Okay, so we're gonna wanna go south. So that's good. And mountains down there. Yes, there are. I'm still not really sure how to read this. Like, I understand this is a mountain, and like this is elevated terrain. Like, I can see the coloring difference. I just don't know what. I know the darker the color, the higher the mountain, but I don't know. Like, there's no index or there's no key to really know what the altitude is. So running southwest along Lake Tahoe Airport, California State Route 50 leads you towards the historical landmark town of Myers and beyond it, a junction point back to State Route 89 heading south. Follow 89 as it loops into the hills and eventually past roadside grass lake. What the fuck? What? Okay. I guess after this mountain clears, we should see a little body of water, and that's where we need to make our turn to 87 degrees. What the hell? All right, so State Route 50 leads you to Myers, and then back onto State 89, and then follow that south as it loops past the hills, and we need to go on a course of 157. All right, Jesus. Now, if this is a shorter runway, we could always loop back to the back of the runway and take off from there, but there's no reason. We have plenty of runway to take off right now. Let's put our flaps up. We don't really need the flaps. We need to go on a heading of 157. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and give it some juice. A little difficult to get the right angle sometimes, the correct angle to climb when you're outside the plane like that. I mean, even though we can see what the angle is, like we can see the numbers, still like visually I can't really get a grasp on the angle when I'm outside like that. So for me, it's much easier to stay in the airplane most of the time and do that. Oh wow, we're really going the wrong direction. I was going to go down through that ravine there. I was going to go around the mountain. Right now we're heading in the correct direction. We do need to start climbing though a little bit so we can get over those mountains. I don't want to push the engine too much though, but I guess I don't really have a choice. We're heading good. I don't see State Route 10 or Myers, but I don't really know what Route 10 looks like either. Like, I don't know. Over this mountain. Trim a little bit. juice. A little slower than I would like to be, but and it is what it is. I think we got just about enough clearance to get over this mountain. Almost enough clearance. There's something about doing these bush trips and flying manually. I just really enjoy it. You know, I know there's no frills with this airplane. I know it's I know it's very slow, but it's just something, I don't know, something relaxing about doing this. Hearing the noise of the airplane, just looking at the scenery. I don't know. Maybe I sound a little fruity, you know, kind of saying that, but it's the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Keep it 100 with y'all. Probably get pretty close to leveling out here in a minute or two. That's since we're almost past the mountains. I'm not happy that we're still kind of at this power rating, but what are you gonna do? The plane's not gonna break. Order my daughter a new Xbox controller. After a year of having hers, it finally broke. A year is good for her. With PlayStation, she was going through a PlayStation 4 controller it seemed like every 3 or 4 months. Very hard on it, but the thing that broke is this little plastic piece inside one of the bumpers. And it's amazing that, you know, I have to order, you know, $60 controller because a little piece of plastic broke, and that little piece of plastic is probably a fraction of a penny. Because of that, I need to, you know, order her a new controller. It's crazy. I tried gluing it. It held for a minute, and then we hit the bumper a couple times, and the piece just came back off again. The hills are alive. My balls. Alright, let's see here. See that little body of water yet? Little body of water where we need to turn 87-degree heading. Adjust our trim and pull back on the yoke a little bit to kind of level ourselves out. Kind of a balancing act between throttle, trim, oh shit, throttle, trim, and the yoke. Finding kind of a happy middle ground between all three of those things, so you can kind of, you know, take your hands off and still kind of be level for the most part. there's that body of water. I think that's the body of water where we need to turn 87 degrees. Crossroads intersection, adjust your heading to go with Route 88 East, track with Route 88 through the Carson Pass until you reach another junction with Alpine Village. Okay. That's pretty much, we go until we get to this little river, and then we head down. That's pretty much what we need to do. All right, let's start descending a little bit. Reduce our thrust a little bit. Angle our trim just a little bit. This might be the road they were talking about here. You eventually reach a crossroads. Adjust your heading and go with Route 88 East. Then we got to go heading of 119. What does the airport look like that we're landing at? A little dirt strip. All right. Base of the reservoir, so it looks like it's just a little dirt strip. I'm going to turn it off after this is over. After this part of the trip is over. Now this kind of looks like where the airport is actually. Can't be though. Does that mean like these two look like this? Down there, it kind of looks like this. Might be where the airport is. I mean, it's possible, but I think so, though. I haven't come across that really big, like, yet. That looks like, I think that's the airport. That very well could be. Very well could be it. Oh yeah, there's the creek. Oh yeah, no shit, that is our runway. There's the river. We completely missed it. There's our airport. All right, well, let's start descending. Sorry about that. I was just doing the smart camera view. There's no rush, you know, to get down. We don't need a nosedive. We'll just take our time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn it off after this leg of the bush trip. If it gets any traction, you know, view-wise, if somebody, you know, watches it afterwards, or you know, gets a certain amount of likes or whatever, you know, maybe I'll continue. But historically, bush trips don't do very well with, at least on my channel right now. When I've done them in the past, they haven't really generated any kind of viewership or any kind of engagement, so. Let me see how long the next part of the trip is. There's only 4 legs left, I think. We'll see. Like, I don't want to lie on the headline, you know, on the title of the video, but I mean, if nobody's watching anyways, nobody's going to know it's a lie. So it's like, you know, I had every intention of doing all 4 legs. I still might. I might just do it because I'm actually kind of having fun, to be honest. I'd rather be doing this like upstairs in my bed, but you know, instead of sitting in my office chair, but it is what it is. Probably should have came in from the other way. Good thing it's a long runway. Throttle off. Just letting it slow down on its own. Just tapping on the brakes. Probably hear the button. back on the yoke. And now hold the brakes in. Yeah, let's go back to the main menu and see what the next, I think there's 2 more legs. Activities. Trips. Yeah, we only have 2 more legs left. We might as well just do it. I got about an hour sunk into this. What time is it? Oh no, it's it. Nah, we're good. I'm gonna end it here. So if this video gains any traction, I'll be more than happy to continue doing these bush trips. I'll hold off on these last 2 parts until until I decide if I'm gonna continue this on this channel or not. But yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll do some more flights tomorrow, and that's it. Please subscribe. Please click the like button. Share the video. Leave a comment. Do all that good stuff. It really helps me out. It might not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to me. If you just take a half a second and just take care of those 2 things, or 3 things, or 4 things, whatever you'd like to do, or just one of them. Anyways, hope you all have a good rest of whatever part of the day you're in right now when you see this video. I hope it's a good one for you, and I will see y'all again